So Sei Kyou's rebellion.
Yeah.
So it starts off with Shin and Hyo. Is his name Hyo?
Yeah.
Yeah, just fighting each other over 1,000 bouts. They've got the experience up, they're pretty strong.
Yeah.
And then Shibuken just comes out of nowhere. Just decides to recruit them. Well, recruit one of them actually.
Just one of them, yeah. He goes for Kyou, as we were saying. He looks at Kyou, because obviously, for reasons we don't know yet, he chooses him over Shin, even though they're very equal at the time.
Yeah.
What's it? Hyo's like, I mean, I don't have to go.
No, yeah.
But Shin's like, no, look, I can't stop you. I can't. I mean, what kind of brother would that make me your friend?
Yeah.
So he heads off with Arsene Wenger.
Yeah.
Another
man in the youth system.
Yeah. And we don't really know what's happening. And then we kind of, well, he does tell them that there's a rebellion. That's why he kind of goes off. Is that yeah? Yeah,
it sort of says that there's some crucial stuff cracking off. So it doesn't really explain exactly what it is. He just says it's we need you basically. Yeah. And he takes him, and then it kind of fast forwards to when Oki and Shibuken kind of meet. So Oki's like this general that's being recruited by his brother who's starting the whole rebellion in the first place. Yeah.
And then so it kind of goes into that, which is pretty cool because I like the way they draw Oki. Because he kind of doesn't look. When I first saw him, he doesn't really look Chinese.
No,
I don't know what. Yeah, it was the lips. It was big lips. I wasn't sure what was going on.
And he's huge.
He's huge.
He's a huge guy. Like, I mean, most of the warriors in this seem to be quite massive, but when you first meet him, he's definitely the most physically imposing guy we meet at the beginning.
Yeah, he's a monster.
So do you think that's the way they kind of like draw it? Just kind of just show that that's how big and powerful you're supposed to be. If you're like a big general, then you're...
Yeah, it was like that hint, like, see this guy right here?
That's it, don't mess around.
Don't mess with him.
Yeah, nah.
Beast, man.
It says that he takes Shibuken's head and he presents it to the prince at the time and says, I want more land now, so me and my goons can move somewhere.
Yeah, so he's like, give me Shibuken's spot, and he was like, alright, I'm fine.
Yeah, and obviously at the time we don't really realise why he's done that, but later on in the arc we realise why he's done exactly this movement, because even the head he presented was battered beyond recognition, so no one could see, like, it's like, is this really Shibuken? Is that really? And then was it Hyo, Hyo, however you want to say his name, kind of comes back, bleeding, slashed up, don't really know what's happened there.
Yeah,
he doesn't really explain.
Earlier before that, Shin was in the village.
Yeah.
And
I was wondering.
He heard people like over talking about the rebellion had started up at the palace.
True.
So he was like, oh, what's happened? Nothing's happened to Hyo. And then all of a sudden, worst fears are realised. He just comes through the door. Belly's all, guts all bleeding.
Yeah. Chest got ripped out by something.
Yeah, so I was like, raw.
And he doesn't really explain why. He just presents this map and goes, go here.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is a spot.
Yeah.
And he's like, is this like a club night or something? Because you just got battered, or we're supposed to be revenging you for something. But we don't really know.
No. But and the thing is, it's the way Shin is just so emotional. It's like really the part that really got me, because he's really emotional. He's like, but we're meant to become great Joe the Heavens together, and
that is a pretty deep part, and it's kind of funny to see the people they were serving getting upset as well.
Yeah.
So it just shows how valued he was.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't really expecting it when you're reading it.
No.
You thought these two were gonna like just
for sure.
Yeah, we're just gonna rank up together.
Yeah.
And the story would be like about them.
Yeah. And that's what was so surprised. That's what hit me. I was like, this guy's getting cut off already. This is some Game of Thrones type stuff.
Exactly.
Just like, I thought he was supposed to be the main guy, and then Shin was going to be competing against him. I thought it was going to be like a Naruto Sasuke type of like thing.
Yeah, but like a rivalry.
Yeah.
Friendship.
And then one turns evil, and then
definitely.
Generic.
Yeah.
Some berserk stuff going on.
Yeah, exactly. But he's cut him off, and he was like, okay, all right. So then they get to the place, and he finds, they search around, he fights a couple of people, and then he sees this. He sees the prince, basically, the king.
Yeah, and we're like, oh wait, who's here? What's going on?
Yeah,
is this like a parallel universe?
Yeah, exactly.
And then it turns out that that's the king, Sei.
Fights the assassin.
Yeah, the assassin.
Assassin's eyes were mad.
He looked menacing.
He looked proper menacing.
Yeah, he looked like he'd be able to beat him easily. Yeah. But the whole way through that village, that's when he started to, like, was it Kuki village? Or Kuchki village, or whatever it's called. Yeah, like full of bandits and lowlifes. Like, and you realise that shit. I just thought it was a kid from the little slave boy.
Yeah.
Like, also he was slightly strong because they've been training for so long, and he realised that
You can actually use a sword.
Yeah,
so
he's actually like the level, not of a master, but of a very strong person, a very competent fighter.
Yeah.
And he takes out everyone in the village. Not one person could stop him or even slow him down. And then he gets to the assassin and you think, oh damn, this is a real fighter, maybe he's going to lose. And no, he just smashes him as well. Like, it's not a problem. No issues whatsoever.
And he levels up because at first he's on the back foot.
Yeah.
And it's only when the king said, look, you need to go with your front foot forward and actually, So that was good, because it kind of showed that he had a growth just within that one kind of bout. So that was good.
And it's interesting at that point they had a back, what's it? At that point they had a flashback. Where, Elsai was talking to Hyo and they were talking about Shin, and he was saying, yeah, actually Shin's stronger than me. I mean, when we fight we're equal, but it's weird. He's actually stronger than me. And then Sai was like, well then how come he doesn't win? I don't know, is he not trying? He was like, no, he's trying his hardest, but it's just one of those things. I just think he probably, one thing you saw was that Shin had more potential.
And I think it's a bit of like, might have been subconscious, like he didn't want to put as much energy or as much, like when he fights somebody he hates or something, he puts it all into it, you know, then you can fight his son, but you fight your best friend, your brother, you know, same dream as you want to make it to the top together, you don't want to hurt each other. And then even as styles, the fighters, you know, Hyo, compared to Shin, he's probably a bit more elegant, so Shin's rough side probably doesn't have a match up well against him, that's what might have been something to do with it.
And then it kind of goes into, so they go through the park, and then they get into the mountain area. So they meet the mountain king, right?
It's horrible. But first they go to that that meeting place. That's where they,
the hut.
The little hut where the old king, I forget his name.
Where they've been preserving it for about 300 years or something like that.
Because he become really close friends, or he put out a hand of friendship to the mountain tribe.
And that whole backstory is pretty deep. So it kind of shows like friendship, even though it's a secret one. It's one that's been everlasting.
And that's one that's being maintained at least by the mountain tribe.
That kind of shows that era of honor. So
that shows you how respected that king actually was, doesn't it? But that's how you actually find out what happened at the castle. Like Shogunkun's there and Heki's there, the two Shogunkun's lieutenant, and they tell Shin exactly what happened to Hyo after Shogunkun got knocked off of the cliff by Oki.
And then they meet that guy with the giant overall, Muta, with the poison arrows, and he just get baited out because he could have beaten Shin, but he decided, like, you know, I want to fight properly. I don't know what that thing was behind his neck. You know when you get like those fly traps? You just get those when you get too many flies in your house and they just stick onto it. It looked like he had that around his neck.
Fish net.
And his little poison arrows, and they start going at it.
So if he just fought his usual way with his poison darts and all these little tricks, he might have beaten Shin.
I think he would have, but he had too much pride, I think. His pride got the better of him.
At that moment in time, all because the guy that Shin beat, the assassin, that's the reason, because he beat the assassin and he was like, well, you're showing the assassin, that assassin used to diss me every day about my little blow dart. If I can beat you with axes, that means I'm stronger than him. But it didn't work out like that.
Idiot. So idiot. So we forgot to mention 10.
10,
she's crucial.
Of
getting them out of the village as well, because the army's about to, like the cavalry, not even just the army, like they're all on horseback, they're about to run through the village and wipe out everything. We're in the process of actually doing that, and she's like shows them the hidden passageways to get out of the village.
While they're going through the cave, like there's this blood just dripping through.
That was pretty intense.
Gruesome stuff.
And she's just there in that owl costume.
She was jokes. She just shows up and she's like,
you see her, like where's Wally in every scene, every little panel, you see every so often, just
hinted at it,
just there watching Shin, like, dust up all those guys.
And when it kind of first appeared, I thought it was going to be someone stronger, and then she's like, no, just a little girl, just surviving in this mad bandit place.
No, her exchange of the guy Muta, that was jokes.
That was a bit perverted. When he's there dead on the floor and he's like, go and reach my arrows, innit?
They're my pockets, go lower. Go through the hole.
There's the dart right there. Oh, that was weird. But
that fleshy pouch, that's it.
And he didn't give her the proper like poison darts. He gave her the sleeping one, which is weird because he was like an enemy of her, but at the same time he still was like, no, I don't think you're ready for this, as if he was like a trainer or something.
Yeah.
So
Very weird.
Yeah. They hadn't left the little hidden place.
So they go and meet the mountain tribe, and they meet like people like Taifu and Baijo,
yeah,
and then
and
Schumann, yeah.
and then Yotonwa, the actual king.
The actual king.
Well,
Well, they say he's a king, but then
it's a queen.
yeah, do we find that? We find that.
Yeah, she
Anyway,
reveals it when she agrees to join up. Then she takes off her costume. Like,
her costume and mask. And that little exchange was good because it showed that at first she was going to take him out, and he was like, "Look, my dream is actually bigger than what we're trying to achieve. Like, fair enough, you're a bit silly and naive to think that the past peace could be the past truce between us two." Our kingdoms could like last through generations.
Yeah.
If we're really going to try and achieve that, we kind of have to unify everyone. Yeah. So that was a good speech.
Yeah, Sei's got some of the best speeches.
Yeah, he does.
Shin has also got, he's got those sort of Luffy speeches.
Yeah.
He comes out, it's like straightforward to the point, like, Vivi, what are you talking about? I'm gonna go take out crocodile, isn't it? That's all I need to do.
Yeah.
Why are you always crying about? I don't get it. Like, but like, say he's got the more elegant speeches. You don't really see that in many like animes or mangas. Like even in Naruto's a bit like Luffy and Shin. He just comes out with these idiotic sort of things, and it happens.
Just simple, like, look, we're doing this.
Yeah, we have to do it. Let's do it. Like,
down this way. Yeah.
But Sei comes out with these really elegant speeches, like, you know. Like, he can call you an idiot, but he doesn't even sound like he's calling you an idiot. It just sounds all poetic. He's like, yeah, you all fools. You shouldn't have believed in the truth would last forever. So you can't kill me if you want it to last forever. Let's just try something new again, you know? And that's the most Shin way I can explain it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that was good because Yotama, you could tell, was sort of stalling throughout like the conversation. And you could tell she really wanted to. She was looking for that option.
It's true actually.
Yeah, and the elders, because the elders on her side was like, no, what are you talking about? Behead the king now! Yeah. Now, behead the king, you know. So we've had generations of people dying at the hands of these mainlanders. Behead the king, we finally got one. They can pay for all of his people's crimes. But like from when they showed the flashback, from when she was young, she was talking about she wanted to see more, she wanted to do more. And like having that small mentality of the elders before you is not going to help you move forward. So as soon as she got the option, she was like, Guan Yu, I'm not doing what you say, we're going to do it properly.
And then once they're all unified, they go down the mountain, and then they go and meet Shibuya, and they're like, look, we've got the mountain tribe, let's all go and try and retake the throne.
Actually, that was quite funny when they're on the way up, and the Shibuya and half the army had to stay back because they couldn't.
Couldn't take the height. Because Shin was just like,
they're all trying to get at Shin.
Yeah. From the beginning they've been trying to get at Shin.
And he was like, keep up, you're slowing us down.
Yeah. We need to get this throne back quickly, you know, not next year, quickly, you know.
And they just drop him. Yeah, that's before they beat the mountain tribe. And then that's why they went and meet them up.
And then even when they first met the mountain tribe, it was just Baijo and a Taiju who was like, we're just gonna take the king. And as they went to go approach the king, she just knocked one of them out, like, don't talk to the king like that. And then eventually it was like, no. Sei was like, you know, just chill, I'll go. But then Shin followed eventually, so it didn't really matter, did it?
You know, at that point, I remember thinking like they could have Gigs talk the hardest. When the mountain tribe just came out, I would have just put my stuff down, like, yo, boys, I'm going down the hill.
Say, see you later.
Go and chat to them.
This was fun.
Bring her back with you.
Okay, good the food started.
So then we get to the palace.
Yeah.
And there were 3,000 strong, weren't there?
Yeah, there were.
And but they would only let 50 in.
Yeah. And Sei and everyone was dressed as mountain folk at this point, so to try and disguise himself, know that the king had come back to take his throne.
Because it was funny at the time, because the Chancellor, the one who's on Shin's stepbrother's side, who's in charge of rebellion,
Ketsu?
They got together, how many soldiers was it? 80,000, I believe it was.
Something.
And he was saying, no, this ain't good enough, we need 100,000 more. So then the fact that the mountain tribe would come, they're like, oh, it's our lucky day. More we can add this to our army. So then they were willing to let him in. I imagine on another day they probably would have been more suspicious.
It was kind of like luck, as you said. It was good tactics.
Because they knew they'll be desperate for men because of they've got to fight. Is it Rufu's faction as well? They're desperate. They prepare for 2 wars at once. So we've got to kill the prince, and then we've got to prepare for what's them to come back. So we need a bigger army. So they were kind of desperate themselves at that point.
Getting to get into the castle. They've been in the castle. They separate into smaller groups.
Yeah.
To go.
Well, the main group stays to keep the main army occupied.
Yeah, yeah.
About 300 of them, was it? Or it's a small group.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50 of them.
50 of them, yeah. And then a smaller group tried to break into the throne room to actually get the Sei's brother.
And it's all
Sei
quite
Kyou.
intense and quite fast paced as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you think it's mad, what, 50 guys going up against thousands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mountain tribe, like, they're like worth like 10 guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
So
One guy, take out 10.
Yeah, like, that is what's happening.
Yeah.
It's mad. So it works out okay. But yeah, the smaller group, it was Heki, Shin,
Yeah.
Ten, Taffy, Baijo, and Shumen, and then a couple other mountain tribe guys.
Yeah. But those are the main goons. Like they're like the strongest guys.
Yeah,
they're the
there's
ones who
three
head around.
captains. Yeah. So yeah, they go through the corridor.
Yeah.
And then they meet Sei Kyou, who's Shishi's right hand man,
Yeah.
and he's militant. Like they say, he kills people in one slash.
Yeah,
that's
for
just
sure.
mad.
And he does immediately. The mountain tribe guy goes for him, and like he doesn't even touch the floor he just touched the floor in pieces,
Yeah.
literally in half. Like,
And these guys are tough
that
as
way.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So it kind of showed his level.
Like, he just one shot at the mountain tribe.
Yeah, like come on, to be able to cut somebody clean in half, straight through the through the vertical, that's crazy. Like,
And it kind of showed like, don't get cocky.
Yeah.
Like this is, it's a bit of a little tactical battle, but you kind of he keeps leveling up Shin.
Yeah.
Like each time he faces something, a bit like when you first faced the assassin.
Yeah.
That's like his big second test, I think. You agree?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
even when both of them, the two assassins, he fought the first one, I forget his name already. And then he fought Muta.
Muta, the second one.
So
Yeah.
there's two assassins he fought, and
True.
then both of them were strong. The first one he managed to just defeat, but I think he was more. He forgot, like Sei said, he forgot about what happened at that point because he was in such a blind rage, and this is the guy who killed Kyou, so he just went for it.
Yeah.
But then when he was fighting Muta, he had to be a bit more present, and like so therefore he had to sort of level up in a way. It's like I think it's more mentally that he has to level up rather than physically. I think
True.
he's got the technique, and I think he's got a certain amount of strength. Yeah, he's still young, but I think it's mentally like tactics in the fight. Like, what do I do at this point? What should I do? Just chop through him.
Yeah.
In the end, is what he's done.
And that's what he does. Then they meet that mad monkey, Rankai. And he's just
when they get to the room of the princes.
Yeah.
Step brothers.
And the princess is there lounging like it's nothing.
Calling because he's got a beast grin.
Yeah, and we're just like, why is this guy chilling? As you said,
And like, they came in and he was still calm. I thought he was going crazy.
Like he's watching Netflix or something.
Yeah.
And then,
But he's got a composure of a king, though, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's got the
yes.
composure of a king. I'll tell you that much. Like even when he at one point early in the arc, and he's calls in a guy, and he's like, you know, this guy, he's worked his way up all the way from this, that, and the other, and he's just a pauper, and this Rankai, and he just slaps him into the wall. Like he's a flyer, and he's just like, I hate those types of people. How dare you work your way up from the bottom? Let your ball up here, don't come up here. It's so harsh.
That was amazing.
And he gives the mountain tribe like a run for their money because Rankai's just going left, right, swipe.
Yeah.
And he's just taking like their torso and everything else.
Then they just get ripped in half real quickly. You don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
You just don't know how it happened. It's his aftermath.
And he even got a hit in on what's it? Tafaijo as well.
Yeah, that was surprising.
He launched him into the pillar.
Yeah.
So what, is he dead?
I was just like,
he was all coughing up blood.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I got him.
But then when Baijo went to fight him, and he said, I'm going to go back into my old days.
I was like, ooh.
And it showed you the flashback of his old days when he was just eating people. Like taking out whole tribes by himself, mountain tribes, and eating their guts out like
and he's a little kid and like, like spaghetti or something.
I thought he was The Walking Dead for a second there.
Yeah.
He was just some little kid like, okay. And then, he fights. His fight style is wicked.
No,
I don't care what anyone says.
I love that frame when he's just like, alright, I'm ready.
Next thing he's got his legs wrapped around his arm.
Yeah.
He's cut a hole in his arm. He's trying to rip it over his bare hands. I was like, this guy is really a beast.
Rough. And then that's why when the king kind of shot up, he's like, oh.
This guy though.
But then he fears him because he goes, remember what I used to do to back in the past to Rankai? And Rankai starts thinking back when he started getting tortured. And I was like, oh, now I feel bad for that kid.
You do.
Like,
You got him off the black market.
yeah.
He's a rare type of breed, this with this
And he just chained him up and he was just stabbing him.
Yeah.
For fun, like. Yeah, if you don't do what I say, this is what's gonna happen. So you better. It's like Game of Thrones. Like,
True.
Ramsay, is it not Ramsay Bolton? And he has
And
Reek.
Reek.
What's his real name again?
He's orange hair.
Yeah, that guy. And he was part of the starts, but
Greyjoy, innit?
Yeah,
he was a Greyjoy. Him.
yeah.
It was just like that. When you torture someone to that extent, then really they're your bitch for the rest of their life. So that's what it was.
Yeah.
Until Renkai realized that these guys, I can't even beat them, so I'm just gonna pretend I'm out cold.
He was like a blend. He was the Greyjoy guy and the Mountain, innit?
Yeah.
True. True. Had that mentality of Greyjoy, but
the strength of a Mountain.
Yeah, definitely.
Protect you.
Yeah, that was a good shot as well. They showed it, like the prince was up on his on top of the stairs, and over to the left, trying to exit the place, or the opposite door to where she knew they were coming in.
Yeah.
They're trying to escape, but they can't because it's locked, and they're just like looking at him, like, "Yep, I'm not gonna stand in front of the prince.
Yeah.
You lot can stand in front of him."
Yeah.
But you know, it's funny. Then I think they eventually get the door open, and then Toad just comes through.
Yeah.
Slices off their head, not even looking at them. Like he's like he just done it like he's looking at them.
Yeah.
That was
just brushing away.
Toad's the legend. You will know later on. Toad's the legend.
Toad's actually one of my
This musketeer just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Lovely, love his face because he's got those crazy eyes as well, but it's just like they're just pure. It's always open wide, like he's just seeing everything. Yeah, and his facial change just doesn't change. Facial expression's the same.
Yeah. I like that.
Runs out through the corridor.
Yeah.
And he comes out and he sees Shishi, who's there still trying to hold off the rest of the mountain tribe.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "What's going on? Like, I need help." And then Sei comes out of nowhere, just hits him with that jab.
Yeah.
It was that haymaker.
Yeah.
And his jaw was just done. It was just hanging. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. But well, Ketsu before that got himself caught and beheaded.
Oh yeah, the mountain tribe they got in.
Yeah. Remember, true. Like he was on the chariot and he was throwing guys off. Just meet at the chariot, like, get off,
like,
get off.
Man, you're weighing it down too much. Yeah. You got light in the load.
Yeah, even though he's the biggest motherfucker on there.
Yeah.
Like he's so huge. Like if he jumped off, they would have been able to go Mark 3 or something.
Yeah.
Like he's throwing guys off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oki. That's why Toad's there.
Yeah.
But Oki's not really.
He just jumps off the wall like Cash. Like he was off the balcony, jumps off the balcony, even cracks the floor. I was like, wow, this guy really is a monster.
Dense. Not even just dense, she's dense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not dense, dense.
She'd land on the floor, break the floor. Most people would break themselves.
Isn't it? Like legs, kneecaps done. And then when they finally realised, well, Shishi realised Oki was messing them about.
Yeah, because they see Shogun-kun.
So why did you protect Shibukin's land?
Yeah.
And why did you bring us a fake body of Shibukin when Shibukin's obviously here?
Yeah.
And it all sort of starts to come together. You sort of to realise Oki was on the side of the king.
Yeah. Well, we don't. Well, yeah, we were on the side of the king, but at the same time, we were like.
Yeah, still for his own reason.
It was for his own like sadistic pleasure.
Yeah.
Because he is that kind of guy.
He was wanting to enjoy himself, you know.
Yeah.
He came there and he's like, all these fun things are happening. I want to know what I can do to have a bit of fun in the middle. I mean, even like he explains when he's being questioned. He's being questioned by Master Shi, Mr. Shi, sorry, and he's Minister Shi, and he comes over and he's like, "Why did you do all of this? And where we're gonna have to like, you know, see what happens there."
Dude, his other right hand man, he had Saijo, and then he had another guy with him. I forget his name, beginning with H.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
He like stepped up to Oki, and I was like, really?
No,
I mean,
he did.
And she was like, "This man, no, he's on a horse, so it's going to be okay. Like, he has the advantage."
Yeah.
Oki's as big as the horse. I'm not sure if he has the advantage. And then obviously we see one sweep with his glaive.
Yeah.
There's this
another one shot.
Yeah. Well, Oki loves this one shot.
He's a one shot king. So yeah. Next chapter, next up.
Yeah, next epicness. Kingdom.
Sign off.
Later.